Um, okay, group two. Um, um, Brian started off very well, and then he just choked and stopped. Because initially I thought, oh, confident, personable, unscripted. He's very confident, and then he just stopped, and his uh, um, his HR head, the pervert, had to step in and take over. I thought he picked up very well, actually. So compliments to a pervert for stepping in and calming it down. Brian recovered, later on in the news conference. But I mean, first impressions count, and if you're going to, you've got to nail that first opening remark, opening paragraph. So it suggested nerves, which I appreciate, but lack of preparation. And bear in mind, cameras are rolling, so people are going to see that, not just hear it as well. So, come in well prepared. There was a moment where was in. There was a moment of genuine honesty from a pervert where he said, "We did miss it," and I thought, that's the tack really you should have taken right from the start, because that sets the tone of the news conference. Because often, if you just come in as face up to something, it doesn't give us much to come back on, because we don't have to wheedle it out of you. So a bit more of that. I'm staggered that you tried to sort of, well, the sponsorship to do with the Lion King. Brian claimed he didn't know, and a pervert claimed that we did know, but it's inside information and you shouldn't know. Well, we did know, so I mean, you can't. Where are we with that? And you wouldn't confirm whether it's been withdrawn, but the fact that you were so reticent proved that it was. Bad luck to have the CEO on the sidelines here. Doesn't look good. If you've got to face up to something, the boss has to be there. So it's embarrassing, and we often find this. The CEO is tucked away on the side there. If you've got the CEO in the room, the CEO should be taking the questions. So there were good moments, and there were really shaky moments. So you spoil the good moments by being unprepared and a bit secretive, shall we say, as well.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I actually didn't think your press release was that bad. I quite like that it included some clear points of what you were going to do.
Agree? Yeah.
It had the CEO comment. So I didn't think it was bad. I like Quint. I thought your tweets were all right as well. Actually, the Stormzy tweet in a way. The problem is you've then got to back it up in this press conference. But yeah, Brian, I did think it was a nice pickup. Stuff happens, nerves get the better of you. As long as you've got someone there that can pick it up, okay. But it was the contradictory nature of things. It's kind of all right to say, well, it's not actually. Yes, of course, different communities find different things offensive, but if you're selling to a UK audience and that audience is going to find something offensive, you have to have thought that through, which leaves the only answer being, as Quinton said, yeah, we messed up. But then you say you're going to carry on with this brand ambassador who's going, I don't see what the problem is. So you just haven't thought through some elements of it. That brand ambassador thing, you probably should have thought through of, hang on, if we're going to go out there and say, this isn't okay, we're going to have to do something about this person who's going around acting in our name, saying it is okay, because it doesn't work. So I think it's just thinking through things.
I was going to say that I give Brian full marks for refusing to engage in, as it were, tokenism. His position was that where he came from in Zimbabwe, this wouldn't have been an issue, and I thought it was commendable actually that he stood his ground on that, as we were, as it were, telling him about the perils of racism, and he stood his ground, I thought, in a rather principled way on that. It then sort of fell apart, unfortunately, as my colleagues have said. There were just too many contradictions the contradiction between the brand person Jenkins and the press release, the muddle over what you did or didn't know about losing the sponsorship, and the CEO sitting on the sidelines. That really is the takeaway from this press conference. A company that really, you know, is it's a bit of a mess, and you know, a lack of kind of confidence that you really understand what's happened. The fact that no one said the same with the first group, the fact that no one saw this as a problem in the first place is quite staggering. It is a perception issue. It's not about intentions. It's purely about perception, and marketing is everything to do with perception. And I think I'd probably want to fire the entire marketing department. The response from people like Stormzy was as predictable as night follows day. I could have written Stormzy's tweet. Right.
We've got one more before we get a break.